Most people think they understand New York. It's one of the most famous states in the country, talked about constantly in movies, politics, and pop culture. People assume that if there were strange laws, they would have heard about them by now. But that assumption is exactly why so many New Yorkers and visitors accidentally break the law without realizing it. Going into 2026, there are still rules on the books that sound outdated, confusing, or completely unbelievable, yet they can still affect you today. One of the biggest misconceptions involves sleeping in your car. Many people believe that as long as you're parked legally, you're allowed to rest inside your vehicle. In New York, that's only partially true. While state law doesn't directly ban sleeping in your car, local ordinances often do. Certain cities, towns, and counties treat it as loitering, illegal overnight parking, or a quality of life violation. This catches people off guard, especially rideshare drivers, travelers, and people living out of vans, because enforcement depends entirely on where you are. You might do it one night with no issue and get fined the next simply because you crossed into a different jurisdiction. Another area that surprises people is bicycle law. New York is considered bike-friendly, but it's also strict. If you're riding without the proper equipment, you can be stopped and ticketed even if you're not doing anything else wrong. In 2026, bikes are still legally required to have working brakes, proper lighting at night, and reflectors that meet visibility standards. Riding after dark without a headlight or a rear reflector isn't just unsafe, it's a violation. Many cyclists assume these rules are optional or only enforced after an accident. But in reality, missing equipment alone can be enough to get cited. Gas stations are another point of confusion. Most people think self-service gas restrictions only apply in New Jersey, but New York has its own exceptions that almost no one talks about. While pumping your own gas is generally legal, there are specific circumstances where restrictions can temporarily apply. During emergency declarations, severe weather events, or at certain regulated facilities, safety rules can limit who is allowed to pump gas and how it's done. These situations are rare, but when they happen, drivers are often confused about why something they've done their entire life is suddenly an issue. Jaywalking is one of the most misunderstood laws in the state. Many people believe it's completely legal now, especially after New York City reduced enforcement. But that doesn't mean jaywalking disappeared everywhere. Outside of NYC, and even within certain controlled areas, local governments can still issue citations for crossing streets improperly. In 2026, enforcement is inconsistent, which makes it more confusing. People assume the rule is gone because they see others do it daily, but legally speaking, that assumption isn't always correct. Noise laws are another silent trap. Most people think noise violations only apply late at night, but in New York, that's not how it works. Loud music can get you ticketed during the day if it exceeds local decibel limits or disrupts nearby residents. This applies to cars, apartments, outdoor gatherings, and even portable speakers. People are often shocked when they receive a citation in broad daylight, not realizing that time of day doesn't always matter under local noise ordinances. Sidewalk laws are also stricter than most people realize. In New York, sidewalks are protected public access areas, which means blocking them can be illegal. Leaving furniture, trash bags, delivery boxes, or even business signage in the wrong spot can result in fines. In crowded areas, enforcement is more common because sidewalks are already limited. Many residents and small business owners get cited simply because they didn't realize how little obstruction is legally allowed. Weapons and everyday items create another layer of confusion. New York has some of the strictest regulations in the country when it comes to what you can carry and how you can carry it. Certain objects that are legal in other states can become a legal problem in New York depending on blade length, intent, location, or how the item is stored. Even tools meant for work or utility can raise issues if carried improperly or brought into restricted areas, which is why visitors are often caught off guard. What makes all of this more complicated is that New York still has old laws on the books that were never fully repealed. Some date back decades or even longer. While they're rarely enforced, they technically still exist, and in very specific situations, they can resurface. These forgotten laws usually involve public behavior, outdated morality rules, or business regulations that no longer match modern life. Yet they remain part of the legal code. The reason these laws matter going into 2026 is because New York operates on layers of authority: state law, County law, city law, and local ordinances all overlap. Something that's fine on one street can be an issue a few blocks away. That's why so many people feel blindsided when they receive a ticket or warning for something they've done countless times before. The reality is simple. Just because everyone does something doesn't mean it's always legal. And just because a law sounds outdated or rarely enforced doesn't mean it can't still affect you. If you found this breakdown interesting, subscribe for more state secrets, and comment which state you want uncovered next.